Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to my channel. Today we've got some sneaky DIY. We're going to be bypassing the necessity for calling an electrician. We're going to be DIY installing a toggler dimmer for a dining room light switch. You can see here's our existing switch. We've got two different switches, one that controls the porch light outside and the other that controls the dining room light. And I want to install a dimmer right here because the dining room light is extremely bright. And so it'd be nice to have some different shades of brightness, so to speak. So I went with this one. We'll be installing this. It's a traditional light switch, but it has a dimmer piece right here built in next to it. And that will save me from having to replace the actual wall face plate here. There's different ones, you know, the ones with knobs, there's the ones with levers, and I'm doing this one. So this was kind of the cheapest option that I could find without having to buy a new wall plate, which doesn't really break the bank, but when you add it all up, the total cost for this came to about $20 as opposed to something like 25 or 30 or even more, depending on the fancy light switches you can buy. So this will have more of a traditional look, but I think it'll be really effective, get the job done, and stay within budget. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, welcome. So for context, this was the project that I was doing. I was installing this light. This was my first partnership by Lowe's. They sent me this light to install and review, and you can check that out in another video. Long story short, here it is, the end result. The light is very bright. The bulbs are beautiful, these vintage light bulbs, but they are very bright. So we're going to be installing this toggle dimmer in this video, of course. This is the current wall plate and light switch that we'll be switching out. The one to the left, extremely bright, as you can see. Now the vintage bulbs we've got in there are 6 watts a piece, 25,000 hours, and they are dimmable, and the dimmer is compatible. First thing we're gonna do is take out there's 4 screws holding this wall plate to the wall. We're gonna back all those off so we can remove the wall plate. We should be able to keep the screws in. It comes out here. Now the power is on, so I have to be really careful. Obviously I'm not an electrician, so use your due diligence. Call an electrician if you are not comfortable doing this work yourself. We're gonna take a look here and test the power. So I have my multimeter here, and I'm plugging this into the appropriate ports, and I'm sliding it over to my voltage on 500. So that's the maximum voltage reading. You can see there I've got my ground coming in, and then my hot and my neutral right there. All right, so we're gonna set our multimeter right there. And there are the two. See if I can do this with one hand for you. Okay, we're gonna put that on there. So we've got those kind of sitting and applied. You can see we're reading 120, which is good. If you need more of a close-up, we're putting the prong right there on that screw, and then I'll put the red one right there on that screw. At the same time, that will give us our reading. We're gonna make sure the switches are off, and we're gonna go down to the breaker and turn the power off in the breaker. All right, we just killed the electricity. We can actually test it, make sure the light does not turn on. And just to be sure, we will do that again. And we are reading 0. So it is now safe to touch. Next, we're gonna remove those 2 screws. And this will allow us to pull out the light switch. Okay. we're gonna gently pull that out. All right, it's break time. Subscribe, like, and share to support this channel. Please comment as well. Join as a member for amazing perks from priority replies to DIY party invites. If you need tools and merch, shop my store or website. You can check the links in the description for my best products. And you'll want to pay attention to which wire is where. Okay, we've got the ground over here, and then we've got our hot and our neutral, it looks like. So we're going to want to replicate that. Let's go ahead and get the new product here opened up. See what we're dealing with. By the way, I'll put links in the description like I always do for supplies, products that you see. So if this one doesn't actually work for you, or if you want the one with the little knob or the lever, I'll put some different options there, things that I think I would buy based on affordability and quality. All right, here is the actual dimmer, a little close-up action. There's the dimmer level and then the toggle on and off switch. And then this little blue thing here, we're gonna be adjusting the dimmer a little at kind of the final step. But what we need to know, there's some tabs right here that we may need to pop off depending on if they're gonna get in the way of this one or this wall. So we may deal with that. Now, as far as the ground is gonna be this green wire here. We're gonna be connecting the green wire to this existing ground. So we'll be doing that. And then we've got our hot and our neutral. Actually, those aren't clearly labeled, but no matter, we're gonna be installing, they are interchangeable. We're gonna install one of them here on the kind of the copper colored one, and then the other one will go on this side. You would think that this is the ground here, but it's not. And the other two wires go here, but we're gonna do ground here and then install one wire here and the other wire here. We're not gonna be using this top one, so we can go ahead and screw that all the way down. We won't be using this one because this is for a single pole installation only. In other words, there's only one light switch that controls this light. So if it were another pole, then we would be using this top one. So we're gonna go ahead and back these screws out just a little bit and remove the existing. And these just kind of unslide, pop off. So we can discard that, but we may need these screws. Let's see here. No, they come with, the new one comes with screws, so that's good. All right, so first things first, let's get our pliers out. We're gonna straighten out the ground wire first. Just kind of pinch that so it's nice and straight. And they give me one of these, which is good. So we'll take the green wire, like I said, with the bare copper wire coming out of the wall, and we will twist that on all the way down. Will be good. You can kind of poke that back, make sure we're happy with that. Now, like I said, one of these wires are interchangeable here, so we are going to put one on here. These wires are so kind of rough, or they don't bend easily. There we go. So that one is on. We're gonna tighten that up. Don't want to over tighten it, but basically till the drill bit stops. And then we'll take this other one and we'll put it on the other side of the dimmer. There we go, and it just kind of clips on. And we'll tighten this down this way. So the diameter, or the direction of the screw when I turn it, pushes it away. So what we're gonna do is flip this around this way. Flip it upside down, and now when I turn the screw, it will not push it out on me. There we go. Okay, now we're gonna push everything in a little bit. But before I get it all connected, I want to make sure that that works. So let me turn the power back on real quick and we'll test it out. All right, power is back on, so I have to be a little careful here. I am gonna turn that on. Oh yeah, that's good. So power is hooked up correctly. We'll turn the power back off. Test it. Power is off. And then we'll get things put back into place with the screw. Line that up. And line this one up. And those wires should kind of get out of the way. Make sure nothing's pinched, obviously. And if this faceplate doesn't fit exactly, see there's a little bit of gap, you can loosen up these two screws and slide it this way. Actually, to slide this over, I am gonna cut this tab off here. It just wiggles off with the pliers. Should probably take them off before though. There, that allows it to move over a little bit more. All right, let's try that. There we go. I think that's pretty good. Move it just a little bit. Perfect. Now we're going to turn on the power again. Now that this is installed, we're going to take the dimmer switch here, the dial, and turn it down. We're also going to move down this blue switch all the way. power is on, so I shouldn't be poking around. Let's go ahead and turn this on. And then we're gonna slowly turn this dial up until these lights come on. There we go. So they just came on. Now we're gonna turn it off and then on again. Okay, that's good. That's gonna be, I think, the lowest setting. So then when it's on, we wanna adjust. So we're done with this blue thing. We're gonna adjust the dimmer up, and that should continue to get brighter and brighter until full steam. So on, off, and then we're guaranteed when you slide the dimmer dial all the way down to be on the lowest setting without actually turning off. So that's how you know your blue dial is adjusted correctly. So with all that said, we can go ahead and get the faceplate back on. We'll get these screws in. Let's try it out. Ooh. Okay, go ahead and click it. Okay, now adjust the dial up all the way and then all the way down.
Ooh.
Whoa.
Okay.
All right, that's enough. This is successful. I like this. Don't.
I do too.
You guys like it?
Yeah. Love it.
And we'll go ahead and stop the video there. Thanks for being with me. Stay sneaky. Are you okay? Look, come over here.